Ladies and gentlemen, tonight in the Red Eye Report, we're doing it live, like usual.
Finally.
And we're talking about the goddamn Houthis. Where's my... who are those Houthis? They're from Yemen. As usual, we have our regular riffraff rebels. Madtown Mystic, Overweight Oracle, and Too Loose for Stools Teddy.
Why is that
Too
why am I
loose for stools?
Slips right off.
Yeah.
And I'm Asinine Ashtray, who, of course, did so much research he didn't give a shit about this intro.
Hey, can you guys hear me?
But
Yep.
Awesome.
first and foremost, instead, I got so worried about this on-air sign that I got for free from work.
Nice.
It's been sitting there from a client
So you're still
who just left it, didn't pay, and we're on air. We're doing it live.
doing it fucking live. Fine.
But first and foremost, we're going to do our regular pause for the cause for the Dane County Humane Society. This is for Antoine the Aardvark, who is a French aardvark.
That's enough. That's enough to collect
he got kicked out of
disability.
France because he was bragging about how short his tongue was on his Tinder profile, and bitches got sick of that. So Antoine, good luck here in Dane County. It's real easy to impress people if you know
Right.
a little bit of
I think
French.
they want short tongues.
Especially if you're an aardvark, because
I know, right? That's the thing.
A
Is
lot
like
of aardvarks.
it's kind of like one of those guys who leaned into a short dick syndrome.
I really meet a lot of those guys.
I mean,
Yeah, right. And it's like, yep, yeah.
That's
that
not a thing,
that
is it?
doesn't work.
Really leaned into
doesn't
the
work.
short dick syndrome.
That's not a thing. Who does that?
People Ashtray don't hang out with
Some
them.
Who's
people.
like, check out this nub?
Oh, some people. I don't know. Like I've known some people who like just kind of openly be like joke about how short their dick is, and part of me wonders like, okay, you've said it's one thing to like be a kind of just like, oh, do a self-deprecating like, yeah, I got my short dick. Well, it's like,
Yeah,
I've heard you do this 5 or 6 times.
yeah.
Are you
Are
asking?
you
It's
actually
real.
laying
It's
the
gotta be
groundwork so that
real.
like anyone who goes home with you is not surprised?
Right.
Touche.
Told you.
Right?
I'm like,
Antoine knows what he's doing.
Yep.
I'm like homie on Letterkenny, man. I'm perfectly average.
These are white people
See,
problems.
at
I'm
least
fine.
you know how to toe the middle line.
And I'm fine with that.
Right?
Here,
Because
we're on
average
topic
can
here.
be a wide spectrum. All right. So tonight's episode, Drunk Ashtray is going to talk about them Houthis,
Houthis?
the
What do you
Houthi
say?
rebels. So you probably heard a little bit
The Houthi
about
rebels? You sounded like
all the
Mike Tyson.
kerfuffle.
Yeah,
In
they've
the
been
Red
blowing
Sea?
up the fucking news feed lately.
Well, yeah, and it's kind of one of those things that, like, if you weren't paying attention to geopolitical news, especially pre-COVID, for a while there's been genuine like criticism from the West. It's like Saudi Arabia, you got to lay off Yemen. You're bombing the fuck out of them.
Well,
And-
we're
yes.
telling people not to bomb folks.
Well, the thing is, we're telling
it is-
people not to. That's the thing, Teddy. Is how we do it. We tell people not to bomb
Hypocrite.
folks after we sold them the weapons to bomb
To
folks.
bomb the folks. Oh,
Yeah.
and we're bombing folks at the same time. That's pretty cool.
We're taking,
Oh yeah,
hey,
I mean we
got
also
the moral
train
high
them with
ground,
their
bro.
weapons.
We got the moral high ground.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
God's
Up to them whether
country,
they want to
okay?
use it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I guess to start out here, let's do a little geographical thing. If you go to the outline, there's the second image.
Oh,
Is,
God. Here we go.
Stop
I
telling
know,
me.
right? An outline. Right. Well, you already pulled up some Al Jazeera link. I thought you were on top of things.
Oh, no. I was just clicking on shit. All
It's
right.
Nah,
so-
fine.
he's just looking up some. He's just looking up some information.
okay,
some
so this thing with the picture?
Yeah, there, the Iran map.
Yep.
So to kind of give you an idea of where Yemen is, you might have to scroll down a little. It's below Saudi Arabia. I know you can go full screen with it. But so Yemen is right at the Oh, I can't remember the fucking name of that strait. It is
It's right in the pocket, bud.
the Bab el-Mandeb. Everybody thinks of the other fucking strait, the Suez Canal.
Gibraltar or whatever?
No, not that strait.
No, that's the
Suez Canal, where
Suez Canal. Oh.
remember where that big tanker ship fucking
yeah.
itself? Yeah, so that's the Suez Canal. That's the top of the Red Sea. At the bottom of the Red Sea is the Bab el-Mandeb. It's also known as the Gate of Tears. Literally now, especially for people who have investments in large shipments. Yemen is at that choke point, and the Houthis lately have been.
Name. Sorry, I like the name of the country right across from it, Djibouti.
Oh, actually,
it's not about your beauty;
Djibouti?
it's Djibouti.
And I only, in doing this research, because I haven't heard of Djibouti, but I didn't realize that I think Djibouti is kind of a international neutral area. Like, I don't even know if it's it might be just a small country, but multiple countries like India, Japan, the United States, Europe, will have bases in Djibouti. Because it's kind of Djibouti's the only
it's like the Switzerland of fucking
yes, Djibouti's like the Switzerland down there right now, where everybody else is all fucking trying to stab each other in the back. So as you see with the infographic there, Iran has been helping fund and supply the Houthis with these weapons. So you guys probably remember. For a while, I was like, "Oh God, the Somali pirates!" Goddamn, Tom Hanks got kidnapped by the Somali pirates. He's not the captain anymore.
Look at me.
Look at me. I'm the captain now.
Exactly. Yeah, Tom Hanks, you're not the captain now. That's not in the news anymore because they cracked down on those Somali pirates, but also they made better deterrents for these small fucking speedboat pirates. The thing is with the Houthi rebels in Yemen, they're like, we got fucking rockets and cheap ass drones. And we're just going to, they're basically following the ship traffic. There's a satellite service that is public where it's like a transponder that you turn on, like an airplane transponder, right? But ships that are going through that area now are purposely it's technically illegal to have that off, but they've been turning it off to try to not be spotted by the Houthis. And the thing is that the Houthis are doing all this in declaration of their defense of Gaza, because Israel has invaded Gaza after Hamas, the Houthis, Hezbollah, keep your agents.
So they're just the same terrorists with different names, is what you're saying.
I mean, they are not the same terrorists. So, which is a great segue, Mystic, into who the fuck are the Houthis? Who them Houthis? They're basically a rebel army that control about 70% right now of Yemen. And their civil war right now is with what was supposed to be the duly elected president who now lives in exile in Saudi Arabia, but he's essentially in civil war with anyone that Saudi Arabia and allies of Saudi Arabia are supplying. They control, if you look at the map above that, the purple area is kind of they control all that western region where also it's on the banks of the Red Sea, where all of this merchant traffic and docks and ports that they have. So let's also start with their slogan. So translated is "God is greater, death to America, death to Israel, curse on the Jews, victory to Islam." That is their translated slogan. Not only death to Israel,
why did you sing it?
Yeah, why did you sing
on
with
the
that
Jews?
cadence?
Well, because in Arabic, it's a chant, they can sing, but doesn't really. I tried to do it best I could. Anyways, it was started by Hussein Houthi al-Houthi was the name. in the 90s. He's basically seeking to protect what was called Zaidi Islam, which is a sect of Shiism. And of course, in that general fucking Middle East Cold War right now, we've got Iran, who are like all the Shiites, and the fucking Saudi Arabia is whoever the other guys are. I can't remember now. Sunnis, yes. Kind of. Sorry, Saudi Arabia listeners. So anyways, so they've been backed up by the same, like basically the same religious sect as the government of Iran. And so Al-Houthi, back in the 90s, just like railed against so there's been like turmoil in Yemen forever, like all those countries since World War One. And he basically railed against the Western influence, United States, Saudi Arabia, and also at the time, there's a Zaidi president who's supposed to be the same religion as them, the Houthis, even though I don't know if they were called the Houthis, but he was starting a fucking group. This is in 2004. He basically decided to launch a war against the president, even though they were of supposedly the same religion. But he knew that the president was being supported by Saudi Arabia, the United States, and Western powers. That was a 6-year Syad War, which just took place in that entire northern region. And eventually, actually, Al-Houthi was killed by the Yemeni police. So the guy who started the Houthi movement was killed by the Yemen government, who they thought was, Saudi-backed. So look, that just made his whole fucking cause even stronger. Fast forward to 2011, the Arab Spring, an Arab uprising, that forced that actual president out. He was president for 33 years, mind you. The one who was the same religion as the Houthis, but the Houthis were like, fuck you. You're bought by Saudi Arabia. And the Houthis actually joined a transitionary president to take over the government. And then by 2015, this is before, remember old MSB?
Yeah.
From Saudi Arabia, Bonesaw.
Guy got chopped up. Yep.
Not the guy who got chopped up.
Or the guy that ordered the chopping.
Yeah, the now
Prince.
essentially Saudi Arabian ruler, whatever the title is now. At this time in 2015, MSB was kind of I guess, head of all their military operations. Wasn't full leader, but he started Operation Decisive Storm to basically trying to oust the Houthis, because what had happened is even back during this was I think in the 90s originally, when they first started causing an uproar. The thing is, it's they're on the border, they started in that mountain range up in that northwestern corner of Yemen. So everything above there is Saudi Arabian territory, and also probably a lot of, really limited, connected to society, little villages, a lot of tribes, and they just just started bleeding into Saudi Arabia, and that's why Saudi Arabia has been we got to take this shit seriously. They've been bombing them since before the pandemic, and we've been criticizing them for bombing them because yes, they have been using cluster munitions, and this is why it's shitty on all sides. Saudi Arabia has been using a lot of illegal weapons on them, but now it's oh no, they're going to delay my shipment of my new fucking European vehicle. We got to take them serious. I actually, in researching this, I found some articles where it's were the Saudis right that we should have took this serious? Meanwhile, we're you shouldn't drop cluster bombs. And now it's oh, but it's affecting merchandise and commerce. And literally, roughly around 20% of the ship traffic that goes through there has been diverted because of these guys. This isn't Somali pirates where you can hire a security crew to ride on ship and have some fucking, decent weapons to shoot at any little fuckheads with a motorboat down there. These are rockets coming at you and also remote drones. So anyways, the Houthis took over during the Arab Spring and basically ousted the president. Saudi Arabia decided to do Operation Decisive Storm, has been bombing the fuck out of them since 2015. We've been also giving them the weapons to bomb the fuck out of them, and then being like, you really shouldn't use those weapons to bomb the fuck out of them. How dare you?
Yeah, those are for other brown people, not them.
Exactly. So in 2017, then, Ali Abdullah, who was that president who, was kind of exiled, and he made a pact with. He basically was like, "Yep, I'm going to join the Houthis," even though the Houthis are like, "We don't fucking trust you at all." But he basically decided, well, because I've been ousted, if I join you, we can fight back against Saudi Arabia. So did that for 2 years. He was the guy who was he was the president who was there in charge for 33 years. That guy.
Mm-hmm.
He was known as the snake charmer of Yemen. He, in 2017, he basically formally broke ties and made a full televised public announcement. They're like, I'm breaking ties with the Houthis, even though I joined their side in taking back Yemen.
This is like fucking
it's like this
WWE,
whole patriotic,
dude.
Exactly.
Jesus
it's this whole
Christ.
patriotic, taking back the country. And so he's like, I'm no longer with the Yemens, and I want every man, woman, and child to stand up for Yemen, the country. He's just still doing that patriotic thing. Shit, you not. Less than 48 hours later, that motherfucker was hunted down, his whole convoy, by the Houthis, and they killed his ass. Kind of like what's his face in Libya?
Oh, Gaddafi.
Gaddafi. They just killed him. We're like, well, fuck you. We're taking back over. So since then, 2019, you might remember, if you scroll to, let's see here, there was, why is the Red Sea route one of the worst? Red Sea attacks. You'll see these. In 2019, you might remember that Saudi Arabia's Aramco facility was hit by a drone strike that took out basically 5% of the entire world's oil supply. It's the largest refining facility in the world. They do 7 million barrels a day. This is why they're getting more attention than the Somali pirates. And they basically are using these real cheap Iranian-made. In the last decade, Iran has been at that forefront of taking drone technology and making precision weapons on the cheap. So these heavy payload drones are only about $20,000 a piece. That's cheaper than a car. So the country of Iran is making these, still though, $20,000 of parts. I'm sure there's some, because there are so many now, precision, if you think about it, sensors, gyroscopes, all the little things you need to make a very adept and reliable drone. You can now do that for
adept drones on Amazon for $80.
Yeah. And I'm sure theirs are more in the sense of having long range efficiency, heavy payload, and then also they probably have to communicate via, I don't know, satellite or something, when you're flying drones that long of a period. But they flew it all the way into Saudi Arabia, bombed. And also I thought maybe this would be a part of the episode, but it's not technically about the Houthis. But that recent news story where 3 U.S. servicemen were killed, and that's the thing too, is I could not really find, a like name. I believe it's a group in Syria, maybe. Like, I couldn't find out who it was who flew that drone into that U.S. base and killed 3 service members and like injured almost 30 recently, which they also, at least reports are saying that it may have gotten through because it kind of came in at the same time as an actual U.S. drone.
Yeah, I saw that.
Also, one thing I did not realize.
Tower 22 or something? Isn't that what that place is called?
Oh, yeah, it sounded like it was like super early in the morning. That's like they were all sleeping in their bunks. And one thing I also didn't realize, too, in the fight to deal with these drones is that they don't give off a heat signature for like heat-seeking missiles and shit. Really hard without specialized weapons to actually track them. They don't make much noise. They're not giving off a big heat trail. And so a lot of recently these articles have been criticizing that the U.S. and their allies, also like European allies, France got criticized because they're like, oh, they use this, $2 million missile to shoot down this like shitty ass fucking. The thing is though, they are using like ballistic style, like sinking missiles. I don't know what the proper term is, but like they're not always super accurate. But like if they hit you, like they can take down one of those whole containers. So of course France has to be like, well, that $2 million missile was worth the risk of human lives and commerce, blah blah blah. But that criticism, money wise aside, has some legs, because if you think about it, how many $2 million missiles do they have just hanging out on the ship to shoot at these $20,000 drones before it's like, we're running out of missiles? And when do we decide to shoot or not shoot? Because then it becomes this kind of economic thing where it costs more to have the anti-missiles than it does the missiles. Another thing too is the fact that those missiles, like, they're not reliable, but they just fire them at willy-nilly.
Sure. Well, they're not paying for them either.
Yeah.
Fucking Iran is giving it to them.
Yeah. Well, and that's the thing too, is like no one can really say, but like someone in Yemen is probably sending money to Iran somehow, right?
Oh,
I mean, maybe
absolutely.
Iran is just like, here, use them as you will. But also Iran has to go to great lengths to smuggle them in. Look at that map. They can't just cross over Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
Like they're probably having to try to smuggle them in via ship.
Yeah, with drones.
You can't fly missiles in with a drone.
I know, I'm just fucking with you, bro.
Nonetheless, these so you scroll down a little further, there's that picture of that container ship. It was a Maersk Hangzhou. Well, it's perfectly pronounced.
Was that flag real on that ship?
No.
Oh, I was going to say, geez.
I doubt it. It was just a screenshot from the Wall Street Journal video describing it. But basically, so this is December 30th, 2023, at 8:30 p.m. So often these ships will have these big, ship-sinking missiles crashing within, hundreds of meters around them. So they call it in when they hear an explosion or see a missile come out of the fucking sky. But also the Houthis are using those like, oh yeah, this ship has, there was like an Israeli investor. And that's another thing too I didn't realize until researching this, was that these container ships Like, yeah, Maersk, that business name on the sign, Maersk Line, they own just a sliver, a portion of it. Like, there are, and the actual ownership of these container ships is always shifting and changing. To where, like, someone owns the actual, like, people who take the shit on and off, and other people are like, well, we own the ship itself, and then we're the ones who own the crew. Nonetheless, it's a whole onion layer of confusion, but
it's a lot of shit on that.
Yeah, the Houthis are just like, well, okay, one layer of that onion is Israeli related. Fucking fire missiles at it. So it was hit at 8:30 p.m. By a missile. This ship, yeah, this container ship, sent out a distress call. And there's right now, like, there's a U.S. Navy group and other countries who are, they're, trying to fucking police that area. At 3:30 a.m., so this would be what, 6-7 hours later, probably because it took that long for these little fucking pissant boats to get out that far. They all of a sudden realized there's 4 Houthi, like, fucking small attack boats coming at them, and they started firing, machine gun fire and shit at them, trying to hijack them. Well, the good old fucking U.S. aircraft carrier Dwight D. Eisenhower sent fucking 4 of their attack
Team
helicopters.
America.
Yeah, Team America came out and sent their attack helicopters out. There was another ship, I forgot to write down the name of it, who, like, came to the aid as well. They sank and destroyed 3 of those 4 boats, and they left the 4th one to go home and tell everybody about what the fuck happened.
Go tell your friends.
Exactly. So they did not get onto it. There is actual video that the Houthis have released where they did actually hijack and take in a container ship to one of their ports.
That's why my fucking shirt's taking so goddamn long.
So the thing is, though, it's like this story itself is kind of one of those, like, yeah, the fuck America, fuck yeah, like, destroyed those Houthi rebels. They couldn't get the ship, but at the same time, the next day, Maersk, the company itself, is like, yep, we're stopping all our travel through the Red Sea. So now there's one of those maps, might be up a little higher, where it's like you can see that difference in the route when they got to go below Africa.
Yeah, that's the long way for sure.
The old way. And so also, depending upon how far you are before India, especially Russian and Asian ships that are already further, back that way before they start their journey, it's like, we're just going to gamble this way. Another thing I didn't even think about, but, like, the insurance on some of these containers, it'll be multi-million dollars of just for the insurance, because it is a war region that you're passing through, and based upon the value of the product you're trying to move.
Yeah, you're taking a risk.
Well, not only you're taking a risk, but also it's like, if the insurance is that high to move that product that's worth this amount there, it's actually cheaper to go the extra, fucking 12 days or whatever, to go all the way around Africa and just not have to worry about that shit. There's that one infographic where it was like container ship traffic itself, which is, this is the shit we care about. We don't care about oil until it stops, but the merchandise, 87% down the traffic. Now, a lot of this is directly affecting European markets in the sense that stuff that's coming over to the U.S. doesn't always have, like, stuff that's coming to the U.S., unless it's material parts that are getting assembled in Europe and then back to us, like, isn't really a problem. But the European markets are feeling it. There's a 30% drop in crude oil and 25% drop in whatever that last ship is supposed to be. I can't remember. But yeah, so When you hear about shit getting fucked up in the Red Sea and who them Houthis are, of course, the Red Eye Report talked about it now. We'll hear it all in the news.
Yep, fucking NPR hanging on our
NPR will be
coattails.
flying our coattails. Right? Who them Houthis? They'll use that line too.
Yeah.
Who them Houthis?
Fucking Houthis.
All right.
Just let my shirts through.
Moving along to what's sexy. Oracle. Malibu Splash.
Malibu Splash. Yeah. I was in the grocery store.
Where are you now?
Getting my weekly rations of booze. And I was going through. I was like, you know what? That looks kind of nice over there. I remember Malibu. You know, the nice...
creamy, whatever. What is it?
Yeah, whatever.
Actual
rum.
Malibu.
Rum.
Is it a rum liqueur, probably?
Yeah. And they had like a one of those four banger, I don't know, like $9 4-packs or whatever. And usually I don't go in on stuff like that, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna fucking try this. So they have like
treat yourself.
Right.
You're a dad now.
Right. They have coconut and passion fruit, coconut and strawberry. It's 5% sparkling malt beverage, but let me tell you, very tasty. Very fucking tasty. I don't know if I'd be, sucking these down all night because they're just so
Sweet.
sweet and coconutty
Yeah.
but one after you get home. And you got the potato on your knee.
Will be fine.
And you got a Malibu Splash in the other hand. Pretty fucking all right.
Yeah. Ashtray alcoholic fucking rule of thumb is after 3, be careful. Start taking precautions.
After 3, you got to pee.
Take ibuprofen. Drink water. Speaking of which.
Yeah, says the guy that's been sucking down booze.
Yeah.
I got my water here.
I haven't seen you drink any of that water.
All right, I'll do it now. All right, moving on to Mystic. Hamilton to Ferrari.
Okay.
So Lewis Hamilton is a Formula One driver, in case nobody knows that. He's got 7 world championships, considered one of the best ever. But he's leaving Mercedes at the end of this year to go to Ferrari, which I like. I like the move. It shows that, he's 39 years old, so he's getting old, especially for a Formula One driver when the average age is like 23. He's pushing it. But it shows that he wants to win an 8th title. If he had just stayed with Mercedes, I don't think they're going to have what it takes. But Ferrari, I think,
Hamilton.
they have the resources. I think they pride themselves more on winning in Formula One than any other team. So I think it's a good match.
Yeah, they just got to get their
Hamilton still
management.
drive for. Does Hamilton still drive for Mercedes?
Yeah,
he's going to drive this year. He'll be with them, and then he's out of his contract.
Okay.
Yeah,
at the end of the year.
Maybe he will help. Ferrari has shot themselves in the foot so many fucking times and fucked things up because of
Explain
strategy.
that to me, though, as someone who doesn't really pay attention to that. Like,
So-
are they bad hires or bad choices?
So during the race, during Formula One, because weather can happen that can really, temperature and things like that. And these cars are on they're just at the cutting edge of fucking everything. So any mistake or any strategy mishap or whatever, like if you wait one lap too long to pit, you could be screwing over your drivers because they don't have enough grip or things like that. And Ferrari has made just horrific.
wait, one lap to piss? Is that what you
They
said?
make
No,
Pit.
pit.
Oh, Pit.
Oh, sorry.
Have you never watched a race before?
they make bad strategy decisions, and they fuck their drivers over.
They're
there was
all
like
Italian
3 races
about
last year. Yeah, there's like 3 races last year where Leclerc could have fucking won or gotten a podium at least, and like they just fucking, because of the way that their tire strategies were and
Yeah,
their pitting
and they're
and
just
shit,
like
they're really
changing their
lackadaisical
minds
about
shit at the last second.
lengthy.
They're like asking their drivers fucking driving 200 miles an hour, and they're like, "What do you think about this? What are this? What the fuck?
Waiting.
Fucking make
Yeah,
a
they have a new-
decision."
They have a new fucking team boss too, I think, this year. So
Yeah, it would be good to, because they definitely have a lot of the elements there, and once they get Hamilton in, I mean, that's the dude.
Well, they
he's
have
getting old, but he's fucking
they
still
have the
awesome.
best engines on the planet, and they have the money for the engineering, and that's what Hamilton wants. I don't think Mercedes is putting enough into their car. The design just doesn't fit him. I don't know what it is, but this last few years they just haven't had it. But it'll be a good move. I like to. We'll see. That's it.
Good luck,
Move on.
Ferrari.
God damn it.
Everybody.
All right, moving on next to Teddy, Ghost of Tsushima. How do you pronounce it?
Ghost of Tsushima.
Tsushima.
This game came out in. There is a video I'll put on the in the thing there. If you can go to just like a minute and a half, Oracle. This game came out in 2018. This is footage from the game. This is one of the few games that have come out where they show something at E3. This is E3 footage at 2018. The game looks exactly the same. There's no cut down. This is one of the most beautiful games I've played. This game is awesome. I am replaying it on the PS5. I bitched a few weeks back about how I couldn't get my it was harder for me to get my saves. So this is one of the games I started over, and I actually have not minded it. This game is beautiful. It's fucking awesome. It's one of the most realistic like samurai sword games you can find. It's awesome. It's just an awesome game. It's great. So
it does look really pretty.
It is fucking.
I just like the
pretty,
qualifier of the most realistic samurai sword game you can find. How does one determine how realistic it is?
Yeah.
Is it just historically accurate? It follows the comic?
It does follow the comic. It does.
Boy, that grass actually. Initially, I was like, that grass all looks the same, but once you're riding through it in that horse,
the Mongols
did
attack Japan, and it did start with Tsushima and shit, the island of Tsushima. So that part is part of history. The game does not really cover, that you're a samurai trying to keep the Mongols, trying to fight the Mongol invasion.
How do the Mongols feel about this video game?
Yeah.
I don't think the Mongols like it. I don't think
the Mongols give a
Mongols
fuck about anything.
Yeah.
They're just like, fuck you.
Yeah, but
They're trying not to die.
Yeah, just going back to it and just remember how awesome this game is. It's just
I think
it's
they're
fucking awesome.
releasing this on PC this year.
Oh, really? Are you gonna check it out?
Oh yeah, I got
It's
a new 4080 Super coming. My new graphics card.
Go.
Yeah, so looking forward to that.
Then
I don't know what that
baby's
means,
diaper
but
money.
I got a hard on.
It
He
sounds
spent the
impressive.
baby's
I don't
diaper
know.
money
Yeah, it
on
is.
something he shouldn't have.
Yeah. I just traded in some diapers. Sorry, buddy. You're just
Fuck them
you're gonna be
Houthis,
open air. I'm
You get a
just gonna
coupon
put
for being a new
put
dad?
you out the window and shit while Daddy plays 4K fucking 60. Yeah.
Goddamn right. All right, moving on to Ashtray.
Ashtray, going to secret invite only warehouse rave with the girlfriend this weekend.
What are you, 17?
Well, no, it was one of those like you've got to get the fucking text from the friend of the friend. So this is also, I don't know.
I've done this when I was like 19. Okay, I get what you're doing.
No, like this wasn't full of 19-year-olds. It was like $30. And yeah, like you don't even know where the location is till the day of. But yeah, it was out like in this industrial warehouse district. And fun to. It's been years since I've done the like
Yeah.
6 p.m. to 6 a.m. warehouse party.
6 p.m.
That's like when it
6 a.m.?
technically started.
Okay, I'm like, shit. When did you get there? I'm like, fuck.
No, we didn't get there till like,
Okay, I'm
fuck,
like,
it was
damn,
damn near midnight. I was
That's some party.
riding
Ashtray.
her ass like, come on, we got to get your ass. Even though it's like, okay, come on, Ashtray, we go to 6 a.m. So I did remind myself, like, it's not like it's going to close at 2. We're like, hurry up. And, but it was like, it was fun to be in that kind of like, yep, come on in, sign a waiver. Like,
Sign a
just
waiver.
oh, yeah, nowadays? Shit.
What, like if Blade shows up
Yeah,
or what?
I was just
No,
gonna say
basically,
that.
like, if you,
Some Blade shit. I'm not signing a waiver.
if you, no, if like you kill yourself on your own stupid drugs, like, we're not responsible.
Okay, I get that.
They have a waiver for that.
Yeah, no, this is not a haphazard, like,
Well, what's
These
the
were,
waiver
like, shit
say?
show.
Like, hey, if you
This-
start ODing, we're just gonna dump you in
it's
the
basically a
dumpster.
liability
or what?
waiver. It was a liability waiver. You had to buy your ticket online through the secret link. You wouldn't hear the location until you got there. There's QR codes involved. Like, it was very well organized. It was very well decored. And they had a whole section off to the side of the warehouse for like, and I didn't realize that they were also very tight with the EDM crowd, but it makes very much sense, is the one wheel crowd.
What's the one?
You know those
crowd?
people?
No, we don't.
No.
The
What?
one wheels. They're like a skateboard that's got a big fat rubber wheel in the middle.
Oh yes, it's
Oh,
in there on the
okay,
shoe. I've seen
yeah,
those,
So they had a whole like side of the warehouse kind of like sectioned off for people who rode those, and then like, or people who wanted to just try one. So like, yeah, Morgan like hung out there and like tried the one wheel. Like there were people outside the warehouse zipping around on those. But you know, and then yeah, it's like just bring your own, like no glass, and like basically kind of hard liquor discouraged. But yeah, we just had a cooler full of fucking drinks and, you know, did some drugs in the car, went in and danced, and had a good fucking time.
So okay, on a serious note, it seems like you kind of like this chick a lot. Is this like an Ashtray staple here coming up, or is this a?
Oh, well, yeah, no, it's basically,
Yeah,
if
let's
you
put
wanna
him
pay
on the
attention
spot
to it.
right here, right on there.
yeah, we'll call it right in the spot right here. Asher's basically said like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna roll the dice right now. We have a good enough origin story that, yeah.
Well, there you go.
There you go, and that's the only answer we need. You fucking
There
politician.
you go. Talk to me in 6 months, and I'll be like, oh my god,
This
I still love and
crazy.
hate her.
Don't bomb the Houthis. Bomb
Fucking
the
goddamn
Houthis. Fucking
This is crazy.
deadbeats.
All right, moving along to fuck what you think time. Oracle, you're on your own, bud.
So we have a bathroom renovation project coming up. We have a laundry room that we want to turn into a bathroom and still have the laundry. So we had purchased from Home Depot, we had purchased a stackable dryer. We had a washer, but to maximize space, we wanted to get the washer that stacks.
Yeah.
And
now, do
it's
they
a
put
new
the washer on the bottom or the top?
washer's on the bottom.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Top heavy.
And you know, it's like, okay, well, we got all this from Home Depot, and you order it. It's like, okay, yep, set up. That's included in here. Make sure you got your little stackable rack, blah, blah, blah. We'll deliver it on this day. Okay, great. Well, they show up with the washer, and the dude's just like, you know, he pulls it in. And, hey, how's it going?
My name's Carl.
Yeah. And he's like, well, you're going to set it up, right? Like he asked me. And I'm just like, what?
What?
I mean, no, we paid for you to set it up. Oh,
Right.
my, it's kind of crazy. My manager said that because you did not buy this at the same time, even though I delivered your other dryer, which is their matching pair.
That sounds like a fucking total lie.
Right. I can't set this up for you. I cannot stack it. And I'm like, what? Like you can't. Well, I can.
Like you can't lift this fucker and get it on there.
Exactly. Like we're talking about, picking this machine up. And put it on top of it.
It's a team lift.
Exactly. He's like, well,
dryers aren't that heavy.
All I can do is I can hook up the hoses to the washer. And that's just like unscrewing it because we've got the hookups and everything right there. It's a laundry room, so it's pretty fucking easy to set that up. So anyway, I'm just like, fine, fuck it, man. I'm just gonna do this. But it was such bullshit. Did
the wife have to help? I assume.
Yeah, of course she did. Yeah. To pick up the fucking dryer to put it on top of the goddamn...
Okay, look, dryers aren't that heavy. I get it, but dryers aren't that heavy.
Yeah, they're not that heavy.
Okay.
The thing is, though, he thought he paid for the convenience.
Yeah, I get that. That was bullshit. I get that. But
yeah,
dryers.
And also, I think a dryer's a lot heavier for like 120-pound woman,
that's right.
too.
Yeah, Carolyn is.
And... Hey,
dryers may not be that heavy, but for one dude to try to lift that up is fucking...
Yeah.
He's just big and bulky.
Right.
You have to get those weird, dumb little straps that you put under.
Yeah. Which they had. They had that shit.
He wouldn't even let you use the straps.
Yeah, dude, it's such a scam. Carolyn was pissed. She fucking
I'd have
called...
been like, I'm right here. Grab the other end or I'll kick you in the balls.
Right. Carolyn called Home Depot. She's just like, hey, what the fuck's up with this? And they're like, oh, sorry. The best we can do is send them out again. We'll schedule a time. And at that point, I was already setting it up. And I was just like, fuck this. Let's just get this over with.
No, I wouldn't sit around and wait.
No. It was ridiculous.
But at the same time, it's like some motherfucker basically didn't want to actually pay that dude who delivered it to do that extra work.
Yeah.
And they said, tell them this. Mm-hmm. Tell them this.
Right.
They won't believe it, but tell them this. Yeah. So we don't have to pay you for bringing it into their house.
It was
you could have totally just helped lift the other end.
Exactly.
Get that fucker up.
Yeah, it was pretty...
God, that's shitty.
It was shitty.
After the show, I've got a story about that for you guys. It'll be funny, but yeah.
Man,
Good.
somebody must have fucking died or something.
All right, moving along to Mystic. F1. Fuck them.
Yeah, so, my fuck what you think is also Formula One. They aren't allowing Michael Andretti, who is the son of Mario Andretti, who is a world champion Formula One driver. Michael Andretti wanted to start with Cadillac and General Motors a Formula One team starting in 2026. And Formula One said no.
Really?
Yeah. They literally said that it would benefit the Andretti brand more than Formula One. Like they're basically saying they're too good.
Give me context for someone who doesn't know anything about these things.
Mario Andretti okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Mario Andretti is I think the only American to ever win a Formula One World Championship. I won in 1976, I think, 78, one of the two. And so, to American motorsports, he's kind of a legend in that realm. He's the only one that we've had. That's not something that Americans race in.
Yeah.
And his son actually raced in it too. Was never a champion, but he raced more in Indy after that. But he wanted for him to be in the sport. It would give Haas is an American team. They're in the sport already, but they're not a motorsport company. Haas makes fucking industrial machinery and shit. You know what I mean? So it's an American company, but it's not an American legacy racing company.
Sure. Okay. I also didn't realize it's a company name, not just the guys.
Yeah. Andretti Motorsports is a really big thing. They have a fucking huge IndyCar team and everything. You know what I mean? And they wanted to get into Formula One. They have the money. They have the backing with General Motors and Cadillac. But Formula One fucking said no, and I don't understand.
Picture that
why.
guy's
Like,
disappointment.
They missed out on a lot of money there.
You should put that up on the old
Yeah,
feed. Look
absolutely,
how
dude.
disappointed he is.
Do you have any idea how they already have 4 fucking Grand Prix?
Michael
the
Andretti
United
has
States,
previously
there's
accused the
no
other
fucking
teams.
American
of being
teams?
greedy.
I don't know. They're just fucking being stuck up Europeans or some shit. I don't know
Yeah.
what the
But look
fuck.
at this guy's really disappointed. Go down the
Buzz
picture.
DQ fries.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not
I
even in
mean-
the video. Scroll down. There,
I mean,
look at him.
Yeah. Whatever.
So
We'll watch him burn during
How
World
will I
War
ever
III.
afford my hair grease?
We'll let the fucking Russians and Chinese.
I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
I'm tired of this
Sure.
racist ashtray. Want to name the
Just that guy. If you look at the, you
Aardvark,
guys aren't
fucking
watching
Anthony
the
and shit.
stream.
No, we're not. Just move on. Run the show, dude.
Yeah, I'll
For
linger
fuck's sake.
just to fucking piss you off. Moving along now to Teddy. PS5 fries my dongle.
So I usually use the Stealth 700 Max Turtle Beach Stealth Gen 2s. They're good headsets. I don't understand why you have to use a dongle with them. When the Stealth 600s, you don't have to use a dongle, but with these you do.
I love the word dongle.
Dongle.
Just-
Everybody loves the word dongle.
Everybody loves the word dongle. So on the dongle, there's they make them for for the PlayStations and for the Xboxes. So whichever one you buy them for, I bought mine for the Xbox. So on the dongle, there's a switch. One side says Xbox, one says USB. If you switch to USB, you can use it on anything else that has a USB port. The PS5 only has a USB port in the back. I was using these. Actually, these aren't these. I was using these to play Spider-Man. On my PS5, and all of a sudden I get this like staticky shit going through my headphones. I'm like, what is going on? What the fuck going on?
For shame.
And I'm like, my headphones are fine, so I go to reach for the dongle, and my hand starts burning because of the heat that this fucking thing is putting out. It is fucking insane, bro. This thing, like, I was like, holy shit! And I grabbed my dongle, and my dongle is hot as shit. I'm like, my dongle is.
It's
my
like
God,
the
are we
fucking
not doing phrasing anymore?
The
My
one
dongle's
ring,
Dante's
the one
McDonald's.
dongle to
My
rule them
dongle
all.
is hot as shit.
Ah!
Like, it's so fucking hot, and I'm like, oh my god! And it's crazy, the heat this thing puts out. So I tried it. My dongle works. You know, I got to take some Viagra. You know, just 45 minutes before, just if I think I'm getting it. You know. But so now it takes a little bit of wiggling to get it.
A little bit of wiggling to get that
wiggling, you know.
dongle to
Just rub the tip to get it excited.
Oh my God, right? Sometimes you gotta get just in the right mindset for your dongle at work these days.
Just my mindset.
All right, try not to think about work.
So tonight it wouldn't work. It wouldn't work on my PC. I haven't tried it on my laptop yet.
The wife was pissed.
How much are these fucking dongles?
The dongles they're about $35.
$35.
Yeah. This is the second one I brought for this for this headset. This will be the second one I brought for this headset.
Oh man.
But I just think
It doesn't just connect with fucking US or not USB with Bluetooth.
No, and the reason is because even though the PlayStation and the Xbox both allow Bluetooth, the Bluetooth they allow is like a specific channel or some bullshit. So you can't.
Well,
They don't want you to use the same headset for both.
where are your headphones from? They super exclusive?
No, they're Turtle Beach.
Why can't they have those specific Bluetooth channels?
Because they want you to
Money.
buy a Turtle Beach. They want you to buy a Turtle Beach headset for the PlayStation and for the Xbox. They don't want you to
they're gonna
use them
separate.
interchangeably. Yeah.
Because the Houthis don't want you.
The
Yeah,
goddamn Houthis, right?
Yeah,
Goddamn
to use
Houthis,
You
bro.
know what?
Just
The
get
headsets
really
that
is.
work, the Houthis shot that container ship and sank that bitch.
Yeah.
You know what? They've got the best headsets in fucking Yemen right now.
Well,
He's got the only headsets in Yemen.
Yeah. All right, moving along. Put on this
I'm
fucking
not done yet. I'm not done
dumbass
yet. Don't
video.
move along. I'm not done.
This is one of those
He's not
like.
done.
This is not the Grammys.
not
You're not
done
gonna play me off, motherfucker. I'm not done. I'm not done.
All right,
He's got
all right,
the
all right.
sign.
Sorry, I'll let you continue.
Okay.
I thought I was supposed to
gentleman
keep
has
things
not
moving.
yielded his time. I just think it's funny that I can play a game for 2 hours on my PlayStation and it'd be burning up in the back, and I can play a game on Xbox for 7 hours and on my Series X, and it's still just cool as a fucking. I don't get it.
Such
It's
stamina.
better. Use better fucking heat dispersion, for fuck's sake. Now I'm done. Now you play me off, okay? Trying to cut me short,
Thank you, Teddy. I apologize for stepping on your last
Goddamn
little
right.
wrap up about how hot your fucking video game hardware is.
Hey, my dongle gets heated, you know.
Goddamn dongle's so warm.
It
You
gets
might
heated.
drop it. You know, right? That's how you get your dongle to descend a little bit. Get it warm.
Love the dongle.
Let them hang out. All right, moving on to put on this fucking stupid link. It was kind of one of those things where it's like, I think I was coming across like Reddit mentions about the Stanley Cup.
Oh yeah, what the
I'm like-
fuck is up
I'm
with
like,
that?
I'm kind of like, what the fuck is
What is this shit? What's
I
this
was thinking
ad block
Stanley
fucking
Cup. Stanley.
bullshit?
hockey, right?
Yeah, God bless Lord Stanley.
Oh, you're talking about those Stanley Cup. Yeah.
Exactly. Well, kind of like, why am I reading the mention of the Stanley Cup as like a meme thing? I'm not on TikTok.
Thank God.
But I'll browse dumb shit on Reddit.
Who
And,
can't?
of
What
course-
the fuck is up with these things?
All the shit bleeds. Okay, apparently, I didn't realize it, but there's so yeah, like you're seeing these videos where like people are going the fuck out. Somehow, mommy blogs years back. I guess it's been kind of like something that's been building up over years. Like Stanley, basically, like, there was some mommy blogs that started praising the Stanley mug. So it's also kind of going on the same, like all the people like the Yetis, stuff like that. But the Stanley mug, some mommies blogs praised it, and then Stanley decided, let's make some pastel colors, right? So they start like making these tall mugs in a lot of variety of things. And there's now like, it's almost like the fucking Beanie Babies of drinkware. Where it's like people are there's videos of people lining up for like, oh, this new exclusive color's coming to Target. You gotta get it.
Are you serious?
Yeah. These white chicks have been clearing out shit. I've seen pictures like about like the Stanley. When you say Stanley Cup, I thought you were talking about hockey. First off, fuck you.
That's my point being too. When I'm like, why are people talking about the Stanley Cup?
Yeah, and so yeah, but these bitches have been clearing out fucking yeah.
Apparently, it's a tick. So it was like mommy
It's a
blogs
cheaper-
started
it's a
it,
cheaper
and
Yeti
then
cup.
TikTok influencers are now all bragging about it. And really, what it is like this fucking whole thing. They're showing that like, okay, there's now like men are gonna make videos teasing their wives about their fucking TikTok, Stanley Cups, and so like the viral thing is eating itself, right? And it became, I guess, it's gotten to this culmination to where we're actually being like, what the fuck are they talking about? But kids in school, like, this is what everybody wanted for a present.
A
if you were
cup?
7, 8
A
years old.
fucking cup?
So you could take this to school because your friends all had them at school and they were taking pictures and selfies and tagging how they had their Stanley Cups.
Oh,
And if you
wow.
didn't have a Stanley Cup, you weren't cool.
Jesus Christ.
Sounds like the old Trapper Keeper days.
I was just thinking that. Trapper Keeper.
Sounds like
Trapper Keeper.
You don't have a Trapper
Trapper
Keeper?
Keeper?
Yeah,
You don't
you're
remember
right. You're absolutely right. I forgot about the Trapper Keeper.
Our company gave us a Stanley mug thing for fucking Christmas.
I
The
have one of the
CBS
classic,
potato.
like, coffee thermos, the ones you could, like, beat a horse with.
Yeah.
Looks like a missile with a little handle on the side.
I mean, I guess this is a functional item that aids in hydration. So those are
Yeah.
good,
It's a
good
cheaper,
things.
It's a cheaper Stanley
It's so
Cup.
funny
I'm
that you
sorry,
said that because,
Stanley
like,
Cup. It's a
in that
cheaper
Today
fucking
Show
Stanley Cup.
clip, they're asking the kids, like, why are these so important? She's like, I didn't drink anywhere near as much water until I had my Stanley.
Oh my god.
off, girl. You know how to sell yourself. Get out of here.
Jeez.
Mom, I'll
Well,
drink so
dude.
much water.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on,
Stay
Mr. Big Show.
hydrated, Mom.
Ugh.
Yeah. Anyways, in all seriousness, go fuck yourself, Yeti cups. Stanley's got you on it. That is our show. We're gonna be here every Thursday night, 10 p.m. Central. unless we decide to postpone because we have no sponsors. Like us, share us, and fuck us on the Facebook.com/Reddit Report. You can't access.
Not yet.
We sure
We'll
as
make
hell.
our comeback.
You can
Fucking
bitch about us to your
he'll
coworkers, and they won't know what you're
reinstate
talking
us.
about. You sound so exclusive.
Yeah,
Once
Trump
again,
will
I
get-
am the Ashtray.
I'm Oracle.
I missed it.
And I'm Teddy.
And this is the Reddit Report.
Timmy.